Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everybody's favorite segment of the week.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Time to do that hockey. Scott, you are a resident hockey expert. It is time for you to do that hockey for us. Give us your update. What do you got from the bubble this week?
Well, unfortunately, my Avalanche are down 2-0, so they got some work to do, but the rest of the series are all tied up at 1 apiece. So, we got that good hockey going right now. Not that NHL playoff hockey is ever bad, but, man, there's nobody running away with things except for, like I said, the Stars are up 2-0 on Avalanche. But
man, your ass got screwed there, too. You see Joe Thornton just flop his little bitch ass down?
No, I missed that.
Yeah, well, it turned the tide of the whole game right there.
Yeah, well, that's a bummer.
That's a bummer. What's standing out to you, Scott, from this playoffs? Anything that looks different, feels different? I mean, as you're watching these games and you're consuming all this hockey and you're watching with no fans, is it different for an avid fan like yourself?
How many times I got to tell you, man, watching hockey with no fans is completely different than watching hockey with. I mean, there's nobody to throw the octopi on the ice.
Or catfish or whatever else.
Yeah, I know. The hats, I mean, it's not as fun.
No, they do have people to throw the hats. Remember, the ice girls are down there to throw the hats out.
Yeah, but I mean, like, legit fans, not just this half-assed.
Don't you think they should be throwing masks out just in the parlance of our times?
That would actually be pretty cool. But since
Right?
they're in Canada, they're like, nah, we're not going to do that.
Well, look at it this way, right? It could be an extra incentive, right? Like if you score 3 goals and the ice girls throw a bunch of masks on the ice, your team gets to keep them. You know what I mean? Like now your supplies increase of masks you can wear.
I want to talk about something really important that I
Always.
saw floating around the internet was there's a couple of concepts going around for the Seattle Kraken goalie mask.
Yes.
Man, that shit looks good.
All right, we're all in agreement, right? The Kraken is the show team, correct? That's going to be our team going forward. We are all in on the Kraken.
I mean, I'll wear a Kraken jersey over my Avalanche jersey, but absolutely.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I'm not going to say I'm out necessarily, but I can't, leave my wings. Like those are my boys forever, but the Kraken will be my Western Conference team.
All right, I'll take that. Since I have no allegiance, I am 100% all on board with filling the Kraken. That is
Isn't
where
Detroit in the Western Conference?
They were back in the day, and then when they did the realignment, they're like, "Hey, this doesn't really make sense. Let's." Put
I never
them in the
understood.
East."
Yeah, I never understood it then.
Well, no, it did make sense if you really think way back in the day with the original 6. Detroit was the westernmost, along with Chicago. Yeah.
Well, that's probably what it was. Just a classic thing then.
Right. You gotta put respect on their name. Oh, JB, goddammit, coming in with a question here. You see that?
Hold on. That's a hot take. We got
That is a hot take.
We got show fan JB asking the over/under on the Kraken making the cup before the Red Wings do again. And you know what?
No. Before the Red Wings make the playoffs.
Can I just
not even the cup? The playoffs.
Just a point of clarification. That's not an over/under. Like I don't. There is no over/under included.
Just
in this.
will it happen? Or
Yeah, you're just like which one happens first. Like give us okay. Sorry, I just had to clarify that real quick. Okay, so Scott, you're the resident
He's
hockey
a hockey
expert.
Fan. He's probably drunk. Might get off his case.
That's a good point. You're the resident hockey fan, Scott. Which happens first? Kraken make the Cup final, or Detroit makes the playoffs?
I'm gonna show Drew just a little bit of love here because
Did you just call me a Jew?
I heard that as well.
Wow, I said
Right,
Drew. But I love me some Jews too, so that's cool. I would definitely say that Detroit gets back to the playoffs before Seattle makes the final because, outside of Las Vegas, usually in every sport ever, expansion teams, shit the bed the first couple of years and it takes them a while to build things up. So Detroit accidentally backs into the playoffs just before Seattle makes the final.
I got to back up here because Ed from Pardon the Punctuation dropped a What's Kraken joke, and I do appreciate that, Ed. I just want to give Ed a shout out. Ed reached out to Sean Casey. We got to take a sidebar from Do That Hockey for a second.
Mayor?
Yes, he reached out to the mayor on Twitter and said, "Hey, will you come on our Cincinnati-based podcast and do an interview?" And the mayor said, maybe. He did the same thing they did to us, where he follows you and then you send him a message and he reads it, but he never responds. So Ed says, "I will eat 12 cheese conies in one sitting. If I do it, will you come on the show?" And Casey was like, Yeah, if you eat 12 conies in a sitting, I will come on your show and do an interview. Ed, I think, got through most of them, but there's definitely puking going on. I mean, it was not a pretty sight in the video. And Casey responded with the video and was like, hey, you gave it a try. I thought that was hilarious. I'll do the show. We'll set something up. So be on the lookout for Pardon the Punctuation.
All we had to do was stuff ourselves
12
with conies?
Yep.
Mike, I
Why
mean,
don't we- why don't
I
we
did that
send-
Saturday. What the fuck, man?
Why don't we send them the video of Mike being a little bitch with all the shots? We've got like 3 or 4 videos of that. Do you think that'll work?
Or vomiting foam after you beer bonged like a child? I mean,
That's
come
what I'm
on.
saying. Like, we've got all sorts of
If
Mike.
it just takes some dude to
finishing
puke on
challenge.
video, just like post a camera in Mike's bathroom. You'll catch him at some point.
It's good. It might happen tonight. All right, Scott, I'm going to give you the serious music because now it's time for these hard-hitting hockey questions. And,
Okay.
I got a
I
couple
do
for
this.
you, too.
I really needed to amp this up a little bit more for you. So
I
we're
know
gonna-
the softballs you've been giving me the past couple of weeks.
I know. We are getting very intense here with this Do That Hockey Talk. So here we go. Does anybody really care about Boston versus Tampa Bay?
No.
Outside, I guess I should clarify, outside of Boston and Tampa Bay. And maybe just outside of Boston, because people probably in Tampa Bay probably don't even care either, huh?
I was just gonna say, I was like,
Yeah, they
the
try not to
racist-
die in these hurricanes. What are you talking about?
The super racist and Boston do, and that's about it.
All right, good answer. I would agree with you on that one. Okay,
I don't know about that, man. Everyone in the NHL hates both those squads. So really, what it is they hope they go 7 games, 5 OTs in the last one, and then their team bus gets stuck on the way to the game 1, and they just end up losing.
oh, that
Wait a minute, hold on, real quick. Legit question: Do people hate Tampa Bay? Like for what?
The bunch of bitches.
No, I know, but besides that, I mean, is there any reason to really hate them? Like they're just one of those teams that kind of is there.
It's. I would say it's the Yankees, but to do that, you would have to make the playoffs and be, the best team in the league. Tampa Bay is the epitome of we'll rack up points in the regular season and just flame out in the playoffs. So they get hyped for 5 months and then just fall flat on their fucking face in like 2 weeks. So everyone's sick of hearing about them. Not to mention the fact they're just a bunch of soft ass bitches.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, moving on to the next question submitted from viewers. Is there a more fun team than the Canucks left in the playoffs? Follow-up question, is Elias Peterson emerging as one of the NHL's brightest stars right in front of our eyes? Follow-up question, do you think they have the ability to win the series with the Golden Knights, or was Game 2 just a fluke?
Well, there's no way that anybody's gonna end up beating Lil Jon's Golden Knights, so that was just a fluke all the way. And the Canucks, no, there's plenty more exciting teams than ones that call Canada
Not
home on a
exciting,
permanent
fun.
basis.
Fun.
A permanent basis. Whatever, fun, exciting, whatever. The fact that they got their asses handed to them in game 1 by the Golden Knights suggests that there's nothing fun about them. They're just, Canadian with a weird logo.
Okay, and JB chiming in no on all of those questions. Moving on to the next question. What is your take on the trade that sent Kasperi Kapanen to Pittsburgh? And who got the better deal on that trade? Is that good, Trey? That's close, right?
That's pretty good, yeah.
I mean, it's a solid trade for Pittsburgh. They're looking to retool and get back to the Cup glory days that they spent for the last couple of years here. So it's a solid move for them. But in the short term, doesn't really mean much until we get back to actual regular hockey.
All right,
I got
go ahead.
I got
Drew.
some questions to throw in here too. We can mix them in with the fans' questions here. So, Scott, just real quick, what was the most impressive or I guess surprising part about Varlamov's 2 records on what was it yesterday, Tuesday?
Well, I mean, anytime you set a record, it's an amazing feat. It doesn't matter what the record is. I mean, if it's eating 12 conies and puking your brains out, or if it's playing hockey at an amazing rate, doesn't matter. Setting records is a great thing to do. So, hats off to him.
So you're almost more impressed by the fact that he set 2 at once.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to be. Anytime you set 2 records in one day, that's a pretty good day for you.
All right, Scott, you're an admitted Avs fan. Are the Dallas Stars for real? I mean, they're up 2-0 to Colorado. They've looked very strong. Can the Avs come back from the loss of Philip Grubauer and ride Pavel Francouz to the Western Conference Finals?
That was a tough one. That was a tough one, to be fair.
Yeah, it's going to be
Francouz?
tough for the Avs
Koozie.
to come
Koozie,
back
right?
from the losses, but they do have it in them, and we've seen this before. The best thing about hockey is you can be down 0-3 and you're not out of it, unlike in other sports.
Even
So,
without Grubauer, you think the Kuzmeister is going to take him to it, huh?
Kuzmeister.
Kuzi.
Yeah, I mean,
Beer koozie.
absolutely. There's always a chance, and I mean, who cares about the Brett Hull led Stars? So yeah, Avs got a fighting chance in this one still.
Well, we all know Brett Hull wasn't any good until he came to Detroit, so that makes complete sense.
And absolutely, it was a goal. For all of you in Buffalo, it was a goal.
It was-
All right, I've got one more question for you here.
I'd say, yeah, I got a couple too. So
Okay, go
for
ahead,
it.
Drew. I've been hogging
right.
all the questions. You go ahead.
No, you're good. I'll just fire this out to you, Scott. What do you think about the
Rosenberger.
punishment the NHL came out with today? Was it fair?
That one bypassed me. I was too busy paying attention to all the teams that were canceling and boycotting. So, what did the NHL do today?
All right.
Well
Well
played.
handled.
Well
Because I was
played.
really hoping you're going to talk about some dude cross-checking someone and getting game suspension. But the NHL actually came out today and took away the Arizona Coyotes draft picks for violating the NHL combine testing policy during the 2019-2020 season. So they docked them a second-round pick in the 2020 draft and a first-round pick in 2021.
Well, if you've listened to Do That Hockey before, you know how I feel about hockey in the desert. So, as far as I'm concerned, contract Phoenix and get them out of there. I mean, next thing we know, there's going to be somebody coming out saying she blew 7 coyotes. I don't
And we
think
would all be
need-
shocked that she found 7 coyotes below,
Yeah.
and then we need to validate that they were actually Arizona Phoenix Coyotes.
I was going to say, does Keith Kachuk still play for the Coyotes?
No, but both his kids are in the league, so
Holy crap!
she could go that route.
Oh, that'd be impressive.
Yeah.
Biscuit chiming in saying that he would suggest I write out the names phonetically, but listening to me butcher them is hilarious. And
Biscuit has clearly nailed the segment.
that is, yes, that is
He gets the show.
the fun of it. Yes.
He gets the show.
Drew, I have one more. Let's go ahead and ask one more, Drew, if you got one more, and then I'll hit the walk off here.
Oh, he's calling a walk off here. All right, great. So I mean, honestly though, Scott, what I really want to know here is what's been the most surprising part about the start of the second round of the playoffs compared to the first for you?
Like I said at the start of this whole thing, I think it's just the fact that all of the series, with the exception of the Avalanche, were all tied up after one. You didn't really see that coming.
Fair enough. Scott, I'm so damn impressed with how you handle questions on the NHL. You were just
really
I mean,
doesn't
when
get
you
shut.
watch the NHL like me, there's no
You're-
reason that you shouldn't know the answers.
You're
to
always the professional. All right, so let's Drew touched a little bit earlier about Seaman Varlamov and the Islanders.
Did you just
sending-
say I touched semen?
Yeah, you were touching on Seaman earlier, right? Seaman Varlamov for his 2 records, right?
Man, the only kind of semen I touch is my own, so check yourself.
So the Islanders send the Capitals home. They got head coach Barry Trotz's revenge on his former team. So does this team have enough firepower with Anthony Beauvillier, Jean-Gabriel Pagemaster, and Matthew Barzal up front to stack up against the elite teams in the East?
I mean, it's anybody's conference to come out of the East. The East right now is wide open. You know, you don't have the defending Stanley Cup champions. So, yeah, the East
Wait,
is wide open.
who were the Stanley Cup champions last year?
That would be DC, motherfucker. Oh, wait, no, wait. St. Louis won. St. Louis won last year.
I think that's the second time he's gotten you on that same question. That's the
You were
second
so
time.
confident too. That's
You
the best
did. You
part,
were
man.
so pumped. Oh, you were so
Oh
pumped.
yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Well
He was
done,
so close,
Drew.
JB. So close. Only off by a year. I will say, dude, the best part is when you try to say some of these names, like you butcher them so bad, it takes me a second to figure out who the hell you're talking about.
I mean, I don't know what
Who was
you're
the
talking
first one
about.
before Peugeot?
Before who? Pagemaster? Before that was Anthony Beauvillier.
Bouvier?
Yeah.
He's
Bobby
here's the thing,
Bonilla.
and not that we want Mike to get better at this.
Bobby
but you gotta
Bonilla.
remember, a bunch of these idiots are French Canadian.
I know. Can we get some names like Patrick Kane out on the ice, please? Some good old American names.
Give me speak some American up here in this hockey. I don't
Yeah, damn it. Some Sidney Crosby. I know he's not American, but
Well, at least he sounds.
I know how to pronounce that.
At least
name.
he sounds American. This has been Scott doing that hockey.
I'm gonna be honest, Mike. You might need to ban Biscuit because he just gave you the deepest dig one could.
Let's see what Biscuit said here. Not to get political, but Mike saying these names is like Trump saying Yosemite.
Yeah, that
Yosemite.
that's almost unforgivable.
Chris America wanting to know, on a scale of Weird Al to Batman's parents, how dead ass serious are you guys about the NHL playoffs?
Batman's parents.
I was gonna say
yeah.
I'm more dead than Martha.
Ouch. Yeah. No, honestly, man, I love the NHL playoffs. I've always loved them, but they're even better this year because Patrick. They're even better this year because you're going like 3 games a night. They're so compressed because they're trying to get them in before next season that it's just like an overdose of hockey. What I really wish I had a better handle on was when they started a couple weeks ago and they were playing games at like 11 a.m. Because I only cussed like 3 or 4 times during meetings at work that week when I was watching hockey instead of paying attention to shit. But like, do it differently. I would have done the I would have gotten the vasectomy and just sat up there right there and watched all this hockey.
Can we bring back the Winter Classic?
Yes.
It's coming back. I think they announced the teams for this next season. I want to say it's going to be in New York somewhere.
Wait, hang on. If we're not going to have, because there's talk about not having fans in games next year either. Like they don't know if they're going to be able to have fans in the stands.
So they're just changing the name to the COVID Classic.
Well, why don't we just do nothing but outdoor hockey? If no fans are allowed to be there,
I've been advocating for that.
Let's do that. Like, you don't have to worry about. You could just play on ponds. Like, just go play outside somewhere. I want to see like NHL caliber players playing on a lake in Minnesota with no fans around.
Lake Minnetonka.
Well played. I would love to do that. That would be fantastic. See Gordon Bombay triple deking.
Yes, drive the limo out onto the ice. He knows when you can drive on ice.
Man, the problem is that shit's expensive, and that's where it comes down. To keep ice frozen in like, what is it? Think about it, man. Like what? Detroit, it got to be 60 sometimes this last winter. And to keep frozen ice that frozen for that long, that shit ain't cheap. You can do it for like one game over a weekend, but it gets tough if we try to do the whole thing. I'd love to do outdoor hockey, but then we got to go to like the Northwest Territory or some shit.
All right, let's do it. There's no fans going anyways. Go for it.
I know where you ain't playing, Arizona.
Yeah, you definitely ain't playing outdoor hockey in Arizona, but maybe they do roller hockey.
But you're getting your dick sucked.
And
so